This is our 2026 dated digital planner. This is a shortcut for our index page. So anytime you're anywhere in the planner and you click the coils, it'll take you back to the index page, as will these lines up here. So you have two different shortcuts. On the home page, you also have some different links here where you can see our different channels. You also have a direct message us help box. On the index page, you're gonna find a bunch of different sections here, okay? So we have a notes section, but the way that we did this was you have specific types. You have lined, grid, or dotted, grid, half-lined, quadrant, checklist, but then here it says click for notes. So if you actually click that, it will take you to notes pages. I'm gonna come back to the index. You have an annual section where you have some overview pages, also some different kind of trackers. You have different lists, like a birthday list. And the way that we did this year is you can actually click into planners for each birthday. So if on this first birthday, let's just say, and I'm not using an Apple Pencil because not everyone has an Apple Pencil. So let's just say this first person is Sasha. Then I could click, and now I'm planning Sasha's birthday party. And I'm gonna back out and we're gonna show you again, shortcut to the menu. We're gonna come to the birthday list. I'm gonna click Sasha and I'm in Sasha's birthday list. You can come back to birthdays down here, come back to the main menu here. Then you have your different quarterly goals. You have a wish list. I like to add things to a wish list. You can erase, add things as you want. You also have a running lined section here if you just like to jot random things down and not be super detailed. Here you're going to have your monthly plan, which is where you have kind of like your monthly intentions, okay? So this should be kind of where you start for each month, is in the overview, which is also linked on each month here on this little target. That is going to be your overview for that month. Now in here you have your goal, you have your end of month number, so you can kind of put how you ended the month. You have your scripture of the month. You can fill this out before, mid, or after the month if you like to do that. What you're tracking goes here. So if you like to track one monthly thing, you're just going to pick, I'm just gonna do a highlighter, pink and green. And let's just say that I'm tracking, maybe I'm tracking my mood, excuse me. And maybe this is stress. And maybe this is happy or mellow. Okay, so then here we're gonna put each time we feel those things, right? Happy and mellow. We're just gonna fill those out, okay? And that would be the mood. Now, if you want to do all your habits or go to the habit trackers in the planner, you can click the habit tracker and it goes there. Now we were in February's overview, so we're just gonna come back. Oops, trying to not zoom in as much, so I have to make sure my finger pointing is accurate across the desk. You have your prayer request section here. You can click those as well right under your scripture. Then you have your envelope and your sinking fund update. Now here's your prayer requests. You can type these in, erase them, whatever, be as detailed as you'd like. We're gonna come back to February's overview. You have your bill calendar, and this is going to be for the month of February. You see it's underlined right there. We're in February's bill calendar. That's if you like to keep a separate calendar from your regular calendar. So here's February's calendar, and here's February's bill calendar, okay? And if you wanna start this on, let's say February 1st was on, say this was on a Wednesday, you would just write the days here. Okay, and this is just for you to keep up with the bills. You don't have to write the days if you don't want to, but you would just come write the dates and the bills. I like to put dots because then I come through and check that those bills got paid. This can be your overview for the month. I really like using a bill overview. We're gonna come back to February. So we looked at the overview, right? This is the actual monthly calendar. Now to access the monthly calendar, you just tap this monthly tab here and you jump right to the overview calendar. You have your goals, your scripture, you have a Bible in a year challenge, which stays the same every year in case you're continuing this challenge, okay? Then you have little links at the top here. So Christmas Savings Challenge, you can access that. And we put it in February so you can start it around February. Just a reminder for you when you should start that challenge. We also have a few hyperlinks. So this President's Day isn't hyperlinked because we're not typically planning President's Day celebrations, but we would probably a Valentine's Day. So we're gonna click the little envelope and it's gonna take us to our Valentine's Day planner. This doesn't have hyperlinks except the one to go back to the month that you got it from. So you click the little hyperlink to go back. Up here at the top, I'm gonna zoom in so you can see what these are. So we're gonna have our cleaning schedule, our medicine and vitamins, our overview, our monthly finances, our food, and our fitness. Okay, so I'm gonna zoom out and then we're gonna click the cleaning. Now we're in February, so we come here and you see an overview of absolutely everything that you want to track monthly. You have your vitamin and medicine schedule. January and February are here. February takes us back to the month overview. We have our finances that will take us to the February monthly finances. This is the monthly overview of finances. You can also click here and hop around to different months. So let's say you're in February's month and you're like, wait, but you typically in a planner would probably flip to January or March to kind of look back and forth in maybe a month or two. Here you can do the same thing up here. So if you're like, wait, what was January? Oh, okay, right. Okay, let me go back to February. So you have those here to hop around. You also have the expense trackers and the monthly wrap-ups, the recaps, linked at the top as well. So those are links, you can just click them, okay? So we're just gonna click and we're in February's expenses. By clicking the month and you come right back, okay? Then we have our recap and we're here in February's recap, okay? And then let's go into the finance section. Now here you're gonna have where you lay out the whole month's finances, right? So for example, I'm just gonna get my pen. I'm gonna put on the 3rd and on the 14th, I'm getting paid, right? And maybe I'm getting 500, let's just say 1,500, okay? And we're opening this paycheck with $70 that was in the account maybe. You're expecting to get $3,000. You're not sure what your expenses are. You can fill this out later. And then you have your ending balance, which also will be filled out later, okay? So I'm gonna erase that just for now. Then we're gonna have all the expenses, your debt, your savings, all the things. You have a few links on this page. So we're gonna have a past due, which is also linked down here in this urgent clipboard. Okay, so that's gonna link us to past due bills. Now, past due bills is going to be anything you're behind on. And the reason I have this here is because you have it by sections. You have under 30 days late, under 60 days late, over 60 days late, okay? And then you even have, because sometimes we're behind, you also have your phone call log on this sheet so you can log phone calls with people you're making calls to for bills. Okay, so from here you have your past due log, and then you can log anything that's past due, and then you can jump right back to your monthly budget. So let's go back to February. Then we have up here your don't forgets. So the don't forget are going to be things that maybe is a bill that has a termination date. It could be something that is upcoming, $1,500 just for example. And penalty by March 15th. Payments on January 11th and $100 on January 15th. You have a few different ways of doing this, but this is just really for you. Anything you don't want to forget, things that have cancellation dates. Right. This is just things that you want to track. So you have, again, this is a totally customizable planner. We just want to be sure to give you as much as we can so you can actually customize. So to me, the don't forget is going to be bills you just need to remember for certain reasons. And then you have the past due log for things that are just kind of stacking up against you. You can link right to your bill payment tracker here. And then we'll come back to our February overview. So you're gonna have your past due, your don't forget, then you have your paycheck and your credit card spending. So the paycheck planner is gonna link you to all the paychecks. You can go straight to the month you need to go to, straight to the paycheck you need to go to. So if you're like, okay, February, I'm assuming it's check 1, whatever month you're in, whatever check you're looking for, that's the paycheck planner for it. Okay, and then we'll go through this in just a second. Okay, so we have the paycheck planner. Then we have our credit card spending. This is going to be something where you can track all your credit card expenses. You can also jump right back to the monthly budgets. So we're back in February. Now from here, you can go to the monthly wrap up, the expenses, straight from up here. So let's go to the recap. We're recapping in the month of February, okay? Some of the other things that you're getting into here is a link inside of a link inside of a link, but you're always going to be able to jump to the main pages here. Now the reason you go link inside of a link inside of a link is because, for example, you get into the month, you get into the budget section, you get into the paycheck section, you get into the paychecks, number 1, number 2, number 3, you get to your category spending. Okay, each thing has its own kind of links buried in it for reasons to make it make sense when you're using the planner. Spending by categories are here. Now, everything you see here is in the main index. So nothing is going to be like, well, I didn't even know that existed. Everything is in here. You also can, do on any of the apps you're using, you have an overview page of everything in the planner. So even if you just wanted to go like page by page, hold on, I'm not trying to click a link. I sure did. There we go. Even if you want to just go page by page to see what everything is in the planner that it comes with and then go look for it because you like it, you can just swipe, okay? But let's come back to the index for a second. So you have the months on the side. We did the overviews, we did all of that. But how do you access the weeks? Well, that's going to be inside of the months. And you see here, I'm going to zoom you in really quick. Here you have week numbers, and you're going to click the week number, and it will take you to that week layout. Now, this is the financial week version. There's another version that does not have the finances on the week spread. You get both in your download. If you didn't, reach out. I'll resend you the link. You have also links up top. So expenses for this month, vitamins, fitness, home, monthly, and sleep for this month. Okay, so we'll just kind of come to the monthly. We're in the overview for that month. Okay, so everything is linked really, really thoughtfully so everything makes sense. Here in your planner, you're going to have your monthly planning, right? That's the overview. Your monthly budgets. We just looked at those monthly budgets. Your savings challenges are here. All your different kind of trackers are here. So some of the cool ones that I think need a little bit of explaining is going to be, for example, your journaling. So your journaling has prompts, okay? So we have regular and then we have faith-focused or like more Christian-based prompts. You can click any of the prompts and go straight to a journaling page with the prompt at the top ready to go. So how do I incorporate prayer and worship into my daily life? Okay, the prompt is at the top. You write, log it, whatever. You can even, on your journaling, once you fill that out, I'm trying to not click a menu. There we go. I'm just going to, right, kind of like that one's done. Okay, now you have also, let's see, anything else that needs explanation, I'll go through and show. Phone call log, where you can track phone calls that you have with people for any reason. Event planner, routine builder. This is how you build a routine before you get into actually like, what is my routine? This is building the routine. Your task list. This is going to be very, very helpful if you find yourself feeling overwhelmed by everything you have to get done. This was created for you to kind of sort and organize what is super important, low, medium, and high. And then you have also how it affects you. So does it just make you uncomfortable? Is it affecting your money or your peace of mind? You have those things here in the planner. Now you have also down here some goal shortcuts where you can link and label. So let's say this one is going to be a business, right? Whatever your goals are. And now they're linked, and this one specifically is for that. So we said this was my business goal. Now, every time I click that, it's gonna have business, and that goes straight to this one. Okay, so really, really cool. You can also hop around from goals up top. Anything like this is typically a link, okay? Then we have our lifestyle section where you have vacation planning. You have your recipes, which your recipe has links to food journals, meal idea list, and recipe cards. Okay, so this is your recipe card. You also have a food journal, and then you're gonna have your meal idea list where you can track meal ideas if you kind of are someone who's a creature of habit and you're like, I pretty much eat the same thing over and over. You have your finance section, you have your pay later plans that also has those afterpays where you can list 4 payments, but then you have more than 4 payments. You have those here, and you can just hop right back to the pay in force. That's in your finance section. Then we have holiday gift planning, credit score, sinking funds planning. Okay, and you can make your list for your sinking funds and then track one by one on the individual sinking fund page. Okay, that's pretty cool. We have our tuition, our tax planner is in here as well. Love that if you're someone who pays taxes. Then you have your little ones, extracurricular, car fund, saving, love that. Okay, now let's look at the links down here at the bottom. So these links here at the bottom are going to be your paper. This is going to be your journal, kind of your brain writing, right? Growth. You have meeting notes in a little briefcase. Your money is going to be your paychecks. Your debt is this little debt bomb. You have a little piggy bank here for savings. A little cart is for your grocery. Money flying away is your spending log. So you come to the spending log. You have the month you're in, and you can track all of the spending logs, and you have shortcuts up here to each month's spending log. You have your to-do list on a little clipboard with a check. You have a little habit trackers, that little past due log that says urgent. It's a clipboard, that's what that is. And then you have this little vacation link. The vacation link is going to take you to vacation itinerary, vacation planning, and the daily planning. Okay, then we're going to, those are the bottom links. They're on everything, you see? They never leave. Up here at the top, we're going to have our little card. That's going to be your spending, your paper. You're going to have your bills. You're going to have your task list always at the ready. And then your envelopes are going to be savings and debt and savings challenges. Okay. And then, of course, your main menu. Now, let's look at some of the months because some months are not created equal. So in January, you're going to see the resolutions for 2026, right? And you can click the word resolution and it will take you to the resolutions page. Okay, and then clicking resolutions will bring you back to where you came from. Okay, same thing here. Okay, it's going to take us back to where we came from. You have your new year. If you click the new year, you come to your new year planner. Okay, resolutions takes us to the resolutions, and resolutions takes us back to January. Okay, you also have a routine builder. It's going to take you again to build the routine. Okay, and we'll come back to January. New Year's planner there in case you missed it. Okay, and it does say click me. We do try to give you some hints that the pages and the trackers are clickable. Okay, let's look at February. You're gonna have a Christmas savings challenge directly on here. If that is a Valentine's planner, you can click that. March doesn't really have anything special. We don't have a St. Patrick's Day planner. April, you do have an Easter planner, but you can click here or up there. Easter planning, that's a lot of fun. And then we have Mother's Day, of course, is something you can track. Not Memorial Day, but Mother's Day has a planner. Okay, then we have June is a Father's Day and a vacation planner linked up at the top. So you can click that or the Father's Day. Super, super cute. Okay, then we have July. That's going to be 4th of July. We do have a 4th of July planner. and a vacation and back to school planning. Okay, and you can break it down all the supplies or one per child if you have multiple children and you like to track that. Then we have July. We went through July. August is going to be back to school, right? So you have the link to back to school. You can click that. Okay. September, October, it's going to be Halloween. Halloween planner. You can also click a house. Okay, both of those are links for Halloween. Oh, it's going to say click here to register to vote and click your state in the link. You can click this little hand holding up the ballots and register to vote. Just things to keep you thinking of what's upcoming. We have so much going on. It's hard to remember what things are happening. November, we have our Thanksgiving planning. And you can also go straight here. Okay, so we try to make it not like hard to not miss it. Click here to find voting locations, and we do tell you where to go. Then December is going to be the most fun. You're going to have your New Year link, your Christmas link there, and in the little bulbs, your Christmas gift planner is there, and your resolution. And then we're back to the home page. I'm going to show you really quickly kind of what this looks like in the Penly Android app. The digital planner also works in Android. So here, for example, I'm in the Android app Penly, P-E-N-L-Y. This is going to have, just like GoodNotes did, its own subscription options. You don't need a subscription to use the planner, but if you use planner apps, typically they do have subscriptions. If you don't want a subscription, you can use the planner app in Adobe Preview, also in your Mac Preview app. You can click directly on here. It works just the same, if not faster. All the links work just the same. It's on your phone. If you have an Android tablet and you have the apps on both your Android phone and your tablet, they are linked just like an iPhone. GoodNotes app is linked to the iPad GoodNotes app. You can see everything you wrote on the planner in your phone as long as they're the same system. This also has its own writing feature, so it's just like GoodNotes. Again, it's just literally its own app, okay? And just like I told you in GoodNotes app, you could see all the pages. You can do the same thing here and click through and swipe. There's really no difference to the apps, in my opinion, with the exception that I only use this digital planner on my phone, and on my tablet I use my GoodNotes because my tablet is an iPad. So for me, they're not linked, so I have to pick which one I'm using. But if you have the same Apple and Apple for your tablet and your phone, or Android and Android, you won't have a problem. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.